Y'all ready? Great. So why don't we have the family come on in? You guys grab seats up here. What's live? I just asked them if we were okay. Are we okay? Are we live? Daly, you okay with that? All right, y'all come on. We got plenty of chairs over here as well. Y'all come on in. Spread out. Exercise some social distancing here. Well, good afternoon. Yeah, I'm the one that's not. I'm the only one that's not because I'm speaking. I'll put it on when I leave. Welcome. Are you scared? This is a great day for us. We have passed our 21-day period, or this is the 21st day. As you know, the Board of Regents 21 days ago announced Dr. Lori Rice-Spearman as the sole finalist for the 9th president of the Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center. This is a tremendous honor for me to work with Lori. I'm going to talk about her a little bit more in just a few minutes. But the Health Sciences Center, as you all know, has grown from what was just a very small school of medicine into one of the largest health-related institutions in the United States with 5 different schools. We have extraordinarily large schools of nursing and a school of health professions. And Lori is exactly the right person at the right place during this time to take over the helm as the president of the Health Science Center. She'll be the first female president that we've had in the Texas Tech University system within any of our universities, and she's actually the first female president of a health-related institution in the state of Texas. So there are a lot of great things that have come from this, and I want to talk a little bit about her and some of my observations in working with her as the interim president in just a few minutes. But right now, I'm going to ask Mr. Mark Griffin to come up and give a welcome and give a perspective from the standpoint of our Board of Regents. So please join me in welcoming Mark Griffin, one of our regents. Regent Griffin.
Thank you. It's really a wonderful day in the life of this system, and especially in the life of the Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center here in Lubbock. This is really the culmination of 8 months of work where it began, and I was honored to be named by the board to chair the search. And I had 2 colleagues on the board with me, John Walker and Dusty Womble, who really were very, very instrumental in their guidance, in their counsel with us. But I want to talk a little bit about the search first and then some personal reflections, if I might, because not only are we introducing Dr. Lori as the new president, she's a good friend of mine. And this is the beauty of this job that I have, to be able to witness, to bear witness to folks that I care deeply about that end up making huge differences in the lives of their community and provide exemplary leadership in moving an institution forward. That's what she's done, and that's what she's going to do. The search process. The search committee was really a fairly diverse committee. It had a combination of stakeholders, that is, deans, chief financial officers, those that had a particular specific stake and interest in the Health Sciences Center, as well as some from the academic campus, and we had local community representation. So it was a fairly diverse group. And out of that one thing became very quickly apparent to me, and that was this. This search was really driven to a large degree by Daley Fuller and his work as Chief of Staff for the Chancellor, but he took a sabbatical, if you will, and spent hours working on the job description, on the promotion and marketing materials, and those things. And I want to point out and say thank you to Daley especially, because he held my hand through this process, and he did a fabulous job. I'll tell you, the marketing materials were so good, I almost applied for the job. It looked so attractive. And I'm the least qualified for that. Fabulous job. But this committee came together, and we began to cast our net nationwide. And it was quite gratifying to see the responses that we received across the country, from coast to coast, if you will, with highly qualified people. We gleaned that down to about 7 or 8, and then we brought it down to 3. But in this process, you'll want to know that Lori was kind of a late arriver to this. And there's a story behind that, and the chancellor is going to want to share that with you, and he's in a much better position to articulate that than I am. But there was a backstory to this process. Lori was brought in really at the 11th hour to really match up with who we had identified as highly qualified individuals. And she went through the same rigor, the same process as any of the other candidates that we selected to come in for interviews. In fact, she probably was a little more put at a little more risk than the rest of them. But her resume matched up. But let me tell you what really caught our eye. She had a great resume of service and scholarship and accomplishment. But what caught our eye was the resume of action. As provost and then moving to the interim president's job, we got to witness firsthand her leadership abilities through probably one of the most challenging, if not the most challenging time this health science system has encountered with COVID-19. And if I heard it from one, I heard it from, and this is across the system. This isn't just confined to a particular office over at the Health Sciences Center. I can tell you, as chairman of this committee, I heard across the whole landscape of Texas Tech's system. Those who had come in contact, who had to work with Lori, who got to see her firsthand and her leadership, and they came away encouraged and inspired. So we would not have done our job, quite frankly, had we not brought her into the mix, even at the 11th hour. And the other applicants knew that, but they thought so much of this institution. I thought this was very interesting. We were up front with the other semifinalists and said, now an internal candidate has emerged. Without exception, they said, we are interested in this job. We think this health science center has a lot to offer. We want to be considered. That says a lot about this institution and says a lot about Dr. Mitchell and the leadership team and, quite frankly, what Lori was building there through this process. So we went through the process. We went through the interviews. We graded them out, if you will, and it became pretty clear who was the choice. By nature of the board's direction to me, we brought 3 semifinalists back for the chancellor to consider. And then he made a recommendation to the board. And the board unanimously selected Lori, and that's why we are here today. Now, a personal note, if I might. I think her career speaks for itself. 40 years? She started when she was 12. She was kind of a overachiever, if you will, even coming out of Odessa. You know, there are a lot of overachievers come out of Odessa. Well, there's a lot of things that come out of Odessa, and overachievers are one of them. Okay. But she has given her life, and she has given her career, and she has raised her family in this environment. And one of the things I think that sold us more than anything else was her commitment to the culture. These other folks, we could have guessed, we could have hoped, we could have encouraged. Lori lived the cultural values that this institution espoused, and we didn't have to worry about the implementation. and the encouragement of those values by her. And I can tell you that was huge from our part. I think she's the perfect fit. You know, there's a country western song, I think it's by Alabama. She's close enough to perfect for me. That's Lori, okay? As far as this position is concerned, as far as I'm concerned, as far as the board is concerned, we welcome Lori. We have high expectations for her, and we have a high degree of confidence that she'll deliver on those. And so it's really an honor and a pleasure as a regent, but more importantly as a friend who saw her, how she and Doug raised their family, who got some insight into the love and the nurture and the care. It didn't stop at the house. It extended to her profession. Casey's here today. Doug's here today. I don't know where Craig and Kyle are, but they're somewhere. And I celebrate this time with you and your family because Claudia and my wife and I and our family, we celebrate it as if it was one of our own. So, Dr. Mitchell, we are pleased to welcome and to name and to present to you Dr. Lori Rice-Spearman as the 9th president and the only female president in the state of Texas of a health sciences center. Now, some may look at that and say, they're making a statement here. No. I tell you what we're doing. She's making a difference here. And that's the reason that she was selected for this position. Dr. Mitchell.
Thank you, Regent Griffin. So a lot of you know that I've got a very special interest in how the Health Sciences Center does. And so this entire process was particularly close to me. As Regent Griffin said that from the beginning, Dr. Rice-Spearman, as provost, I'd asked her to step in as interim, specifically because she was just made provost and we weren't thinking about something called coronavirus coming along. So 7 months ago, she stepped up as interim, was doing a great job. But then all of us, several months ago, got smacked by this thing called coronavirus. And during that period of time, we were, the first part of that when it happened to our entire university system, everybody scrambling just tried to figure out what to do the next day. What are we going to do to get our curriculum delivered online? What are we going to do about research? What are we going to do about our clinical services? How are we going to continue to function as a university system when the world as we know it no longer exists? And we started establishing daily meetings with leadership from all the different universities. We'd have these phone calls with 40, 50 people on them. And we would go around university by university by university to talk about what's going on at the Health Sciences Center in El Paso, what's going on at Texas Tech, what's going on at Angelo State, what's going on at the Health Science Center headquartered in Lubbock. And as we'd go through, we all needed support from one another to make this through, because this was a situation where you would hear good ideas coming from different places at different times, and I think the entire system, all of the universities benefited from that counsel that we were giving each other every day. But one of the things that became crystal clear over time was that the Health Sciences Center, as much as it pains me to say this, was doing quite well without Ted Mitchell over there. In fact, when it would come to the Health Sciences Center, the task force on academics, she'd report on that. The task force on research, the task force on clinical services, boom, 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 boom. And as time went by, it became eminently clear that the work she was doing under, as Regent Griffin said, probably the most stressful situation that our university system has probably been through since it started. Certainly the most unique thing that's ever happened to the Health Sciences Center in its 50 years. And it became eminently clear that, that in that type of dire challenge, she had really not only risen to the top, but she had worked with her team around her to make sure that things weren't missing a beat. And there's a saying that ships are safe in the harbor, but that's not what ships are made for. They're made to go out there. They're made to hit the storms. They're made to hit things like that. And they're made for these challenges. Well, Dr. Rice-Spearman is distinctly made for these challenges. I've known Lori the entire time I've been out here. Over the past decade, she has risen through the ranks. One of the things that's interesting about the School of Health Professions that you may or may not know is they've got 20 different degree programs within the school, and 14 of those degree programs require specialty certification. And so it's like having a miniature university in and of itself. So she is the epitome of someone who's used to having different professional groups work with one another. We're at a point in time in our life as a university at the Health Sciences Center where everything we do is going to be about interprofessional work. Everything we do is going to be about thinking outside the box, not doing things the same old way that we've done them before, about thinking of new technology and new ways that we can deliver care to people. And so this is one of those situations where all of the stars just lined up at exactly the right time for something to happen. I'm very proud of the fact that she's the first female president in our system, but that is absolutely not why it was that she was selected. We had other very, very qualified females in our applicant pool. She was selected because she was clearly the top candidate to lead the university forward. So with that, I will introduce my friend, Dr. Lori Rice-Spearman.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Chancellor Mitchell and Regent Griffin, for those very kind words and this incredible opportunity to be the next president of the Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center. I am a West Texan. I grew up understanding the values and the ethics and really the mission of this great university. I was raised in a small town where we had limited access to health care, especially quality health care. My family's story mirrors the story of so many families across Texas. And so the HSC's mission is one that I'm very aligned to personally. I'm so grateful to the HSC family, including our faculty, staff, students and alumni, and donors that I've had the pleasure and honor to work with the past 33 years. Their efforts are really what has helped us build something very special in the communities we serve. And that truly is the whole reason we exist, to serve the people of West Texas. We are created to support health care in 108 counties west of I-30. Our service region is larger than most states and larger than some countries. In those 108 counties are the good people of West Texas who possess that West Texas grit. We roll up our sleeves, we take care of each other, and we build the things we need to sustain what we do out here in West Texas. One of my favorite sayings often shared in the region that Chancellor Mitchell has made quite famous is that we are responsible for the food, fiber, and fuel for the nation. We need to make sure that we are taking care of the individuals in these industries and communities so they in turn can take care of the world. So you can see why this opportunity to serve these communities, like my hometown, and the opportunity to continue to build our great university is very much a passion of mine. The university has given me so much personally. It's no secret that I grew up right here in the Health Sciences Center. I was in the first class of students in my particular profession, which was clinical laboratory science, and I'm a very proud Red Raider of Texas Tech University, where I completed my graduate education. I have had the honor and privilege to have many mentors along the way. Some of those mentors are still here. Some have moved on to lead other wonderful institutions across the U.S. Others have retired after very successful careers, and others are no longer with us. I'm grateful of their participation in my education and development within the institution and now as its leader. I believe this university will continue to grow the future leaders in healthcare and research who will serve within our institution and across the nation. I genuinely believe that we hold the key to how healthcare will be delivered in the coming decade, specifically in the West Texas region and in underserved populations. I also believe that these delivery models will be applicable across the nation and worldwide. Our university is a very exciting place in its history, having just celebrated our 50th anniversary. When you look back at where we started and see what we've become, the future is very exciting. We all know we will continue to produce exceptional healthcare providers because that's what we've always done. We have over 40 academic health programs in our Health Sciences Center, which includes several that are nationally ranked for their excellence and quality. We are the largest in Texas, and I like to tell people when you're the largest in Texas, you're usually one of the largest in the nation. As we begin to look forward as a university, we will continue to expand the delivery of healthcare by developing the use of telemedicine, teletherapy, and telecounseling. We are focused on establishing a transformational and comprehensive telehealth program at the Health Sciences Center that will encompass all campuses and academic programs. Another innovative area, and one in which our faculty and staff have really stepped up to the plate, is delivering innovative academic programming online, particularly in the areas of simulation and gross anatomy. We're excited to see where this will take our university. And finally, we are excited about the opportunity to look at collaboration in a much different way than we ever have before. We know that we can build an infrastructure that will support collaboration, allow it to move forward, and bring down barriers around collaboration and innovation. So you can see why I'm excited to serve with the leadership team and with the faculty and staff at this great university. Today is a very special day for me, but it would not be possible without the unwavering support of my family and many others whose strength and guidance I draw upon daily. My husband Doug is here today. Thank you so much. My daughter Casey and my grandson Owen are here. And also my sons Kyle and Craig and their partners Anna and Cameron are watching from Seattle and Colorado. My parents are here from Odessa, Sam and Jan Rice with my brother. And then my in-laws are here from San Angelo, Texas, Laura and Alan Spearman. Thank you so much for all your love and support, and thank you to my Red Raider family. I'm also grateful to our HSC family who over the past few months have demonstrated a spirit unlike any that I've seen in the 33 years with this great university. Our values-based culture drives who we are and has enabled us to build exceptional teams who communicate with each other, who are able to have critical conversations with one another, assume best intentions, and really be solutions-focused. I am also grateful to the TTU system universities, Texas Tech University, HSC El Paso, Angelo State University, and our newest member, Midwestern State University, for the collegiality and one-team mindset as we have faced challenges and great opportunities together. In closing, Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center is a national academic leader in healthcare, and we are poised to make an even greater impact in Texas and around the world. And it is my distinct honor to have the opportunity to serve as the 9th president of this great university. Chancellor Mitchell and the Texas Tech University Board of Regents, thank you.
So today we have Dr. Rice-Spearman's family. We've got some staff members here. We'll have a much bigger celebration once the coronavirus issue is behind us. But it's interesting because today's June 5th. And on June 5th, 1947, U.S. Secretary of State George Marshall rolled out the Marshall Plan for rebuilding Europe after World War II. Now, while we don't have quite as much work to do as was necessary after World War II, we are going to have a lot of work to do. And what Dr. Rice-Spearman just laid out, those are the forward-thinking visions that will make our Health Sciences Center not just continue to thrive on the things that we've done well in the past, but also take another step forward in what we can do for folks in the future. Thank you all for coming out. We look forward to seeing you again when we can have a larger celebration with Dr. Rice-Spearman after we get behind the coronavirus. But join me one more time in congratulating President Lori Rice-Spearman. Okay, we'll get a picture. Sure, we'll get a picture. Oh, you want them all up here? You get in the middle, Lori. Not you, Doug.